What did your parents do that you realized later was actually insane? My father sat me and my little brother Jace down the summer I turned 9 and told us things were going to change. Your mother made you soft, he said. Chicken nuggets and mac and cheese and all that processed garbage. That's not how men eat. That's how women and children eat. He put a plate of raw ground beef in front of each of us. From now on, you eat like men in this house. Raw, bloody, the way warriors have eaten for thousands of years. Jace was only 6 and he started crying just looking at it. Dad slammed his hand on the table so hard the plates jumped. You wanna cry? Crying is for women too. Pick up that meat and put it in your mouth or I'll put it in there myself. Jace picked up a handful of raw beef with shaking fingers and put it in his mouth. He gagged immediately and Dad grabbed him by the back of the neck. You swallow that. Men don't spit out their food. Jace swallowed, gagging the whole time. Dad smiled. Good, now do it again. Every dinner became a test after that. Dad started us on raw ground beef, then moved to raw steaks, then raw chicken. Chicken is the real test, he said. Anyone can eat raw beef. Raw chicken separates the men from the boys. The chicken was slimy and smelled wrong and I could feel my body screaming at me not to swallow it, but I learned to chew fast and swallow hard and keep my face blank because showing any reaction meant weakness. Jace couldn't do it. He threw up the first time Dad gave him raw chicken and Dad made him eat the vomit. You think a warrior gets to waste food because his stomach is sensitive? Dad said. Learn to keep it down next time. Jace sat there sobbing silently and I wanted to help him, but I knew if I said anything it would be worse for both of us. Dad started serving the meat frozen in the middle because room temperature was too easy. He would watch us chew through ice-cold raw chicken with frost still in the center and nod approvingly when we finished. You're becoming men, he'd say. Your mother would have turned you into little weaklings. I'm saving you. Jace got sick constantly, but Dad just said it was his body adapting to real food and that it would stop once he got stronger. It never stopped. Jace started hiding meat in his napkin and I would find it later and throw it away for him. If Dad ever found out, he would have made Jace eat a week's worth of raw meat in one sitting. Jace was 8 when Dad put a plate of raw pork in front of him and told him this was the final test. Pork is the hardest, Dad said. Most men can't handle raw pork, but my sons aren't most men. The pork was gray and the smell made my eyes water. Jace looked at me with terror in his eyes and I couldn't do anything but watch. He put the meat in his mouth and chewed and I could see him fighting to swallow. Dad watched with his arms crossed. All of it. Every bite. Don't you dare throw up. Jace finished the whole plate. Dad smiled. I'm finally proud of you. 2 days later, Jace woke up shaking and crying with a fever of 105. Dad said he just needed to sweat it out like a man. By the next morning, Jace was delirious, talking to people who weren't there, and his skin was hot to the touch. I called 911 while Dad yelled at me for being dramatic. At the hospital, Jace started seizing in the emergency room and they rushed him away. A doctor came out hours later and told us Jace had severe salmonella poisoning and his organs were starting to shut down. She sat next to his bed in the ICU and asked him gently what he had been eating. I watched my little brother, pale and small and hooked up to machines, look past her at Dad standing in the doorway with his jaw tight. Jace looked back at the doctor. I had to eat my meat raw, he whispered. Cooked meat is for women. Dad got 5 years and Jace can't eat meat at all anymore because his body won't keep it down.